You quit your job? Does that mean you're going to rely on me to live? No, that's not true. I'm just changing careers. It doesn't mean I won't earn money. You're going independent? Seriously? That'll never work. Well then, maybe you should go independent from me too, huh? Are you talking about divorce? Because I'm not going to support someone without a job. My name is Lisa, I'm 40 years old, and I balance work and raising my daughter. I didn't work for a while after she was born, but when she started elementary school, my old job took me back. I mostly work from home now. My daughter is in 6th grade, and now that she's older, I feel ready to try something new in my career. My husband is also 40. When we got married, he worked as a salesman and earned well early on. 3 years ago, he switched jobs, hoping for a bigger paycheck, but things didn't go as planned. His salary is lower now, the benefits are worse, and he works long hours. My family lives in the countryside and are farmers. My daughter loves visiting them and helping in the fields. My parents enjoy having her around, and they love working with her on farm chores. But my husband hates the countryside and refuses to visit my parents' house. One day, I told him, I'm going to my parents' house for a week. Want to come? No, I've got work to do. A project is wrapping up soon, he replied. All right, got it. I knew he wouldn't come, but I felt it was polite to ask. While my daughter and I were at my parents' house, my husband called every day, not out of love or concern, but for silly reasons. What should I eat? There are leftovers in the fridge. I don't feel like eating those. Then cook something. Why should I? I'm tired. Okay, well, you've worked hard. Or, where are my clothes? In the drawer, as always. Why did you fold them like this? You didn't even try. All right, you're on your own, then. He always complains like this when I'm gone. I mostly ignore his calls and texts, but it's frustrating. He also dislikes when my daughter and I visit my parents, because every time we return, the house is a disaster. Mom, whenever we visit Grandpa's house, Dad leaves everything messy, my daughter said. Yes, he does, I admitted. Why do you always clean it up? He made the mess, so he should clean it, right? You're right, I said, feeling tired of it all. Even though we enjoy our time at my parents' house, it's always disheartening to come back to a dirty, chaotic home. My daughter feels the same way. Yeah, Mom hates it too, my daughter said with a frown. Then she asked, Hey, can we live at Grandpa's house? Grandpa and Grandma must have a hard time working in the fields. I wish I could help them. Thank you, I replied with a smile. Grandpa and Grandma would love that. My daughter is so thoughtful and kind, completely different from my selfish husband. I realized I was growing tired of his childish behavior. After our trip, I went to my workplace to talk about my health checkup and work goals for the year. My daughter's words about helping her grandparents inspired me to pitch an idea to the company president. Why don't we use our program to make agriculture more IT-oriented? I suggested. That's an area other companies have been working on for a while now, the president replied. He was right. Overseas, this has been done for decades, and Japanese companies have been exploring it for the past 10 years. I believe we can make it work with the patents we hold, I said. We already have farmers willing to participate in the project as a model. All right, the president said. Can you submit a proposal? Of course, I responded enthusiastically. I immediately reached out to my parents to ask for their help with the project. They agreed without hesitation. My daughter's heartfelt wish to support her grandparents turned into a fantastic business opportunity. A month later, my project was approved. From then on, I poured myself into the work. I wanted this project to succeed, not just for my career, but to ease the workload on my aging parents. But my husband wasn't supportive at all. In fact, he tried to bring me down every chance he got. You're acting so full of yourself lately, he sneered. Am I? I replied calmly. I don't like it, he continued. You're getting carried away. Maybe, I said. Your face is so annoying, he added. Well, if it ruins your mood, you don't have to look at me, I shot back. I knew his real intention, he just wanted to make me feel small, but I wasn't going to let him. I felt awful, just like my husband wanted me to, but I didn't show it. I kept my tone neutral and treated him as if nothing was wrong. He had always been like this. Whenever I seemed happy or successful, he would jump at the chance to bring me down. I was used to it by now, so I didn't let it affect me, but my calm response only made him angrier. Huh? I can't just not look at you, we live together, he snapped. That's not true, I said. You can stay in your room. I can take care of myself and our daughter just fine. If you took care of yourself, we wouldn't even have to interact. That's not what I meant, he yelled, his voice rising. His shouting made me angry too. I'd thought about divorcing him many times, but I didn't know how to explain it to my daughter. I hesitated. Then he crossed the line. Maybe the reason you don't understand things properly is because you grew up on a farm in the countryside. He was acting like a child. Usually, I would brush off his remarks, but insulting my parents really got under my skin. Still, I stayed calm. I was too focused on my work to let his childish behavior ruin my mood. For the first time, one of my proposals had been approved, and I was working on a project I truly cared about. But he kept pushing. So, can't you do your job because you're from the city? I asked sarcastically. You're crossing the line, he snapped. That's funny, because you were the one who crossed it first, I replied. We'd been arguing more and more lately. He used to be a kind person, but he started to change just before he switched jobs. Even though my relationship with him was deteriorating, my work was thriving. A few months later, I resigned from my company. After consulting with them, I signed a licensing agreement and decided to go independent. I had told my husband about this beforehand, but apparently, he hadn't been listening. The moment I quit, he exploded. You quit your job? Does that mean you're going to rely on me? No, I said. Going independent is like a career change. It doesn't mean I won't make money. Independent? Are you kidding? That'll never work. Then why don't you go independent from me too? I shot back. Huh? Divorce? I'm talking about divorce. I'm not supporting someone unemployed. His sudden demand for a divorce left me speechless. I hesitated, thinking about my daughter. But then, my daughter, who I thought was asleep, stepped into the living room. Mom, get a divorce, she said. My husband looked startled. I didn't do anything wrong. It's her fault for quitting her job, he said defensively. But my daughter ignored him and looked at me. Are you sure? I asked her. Yes, she said firmly. I want you to divorce. I don't like him. He's always mean to you. Mom, don't stay with him because of me. Let's leave right now, she added. We can go live with Grandpa and Grandma. Thank you, I said, touched. But you'd have to change schools. Are you okay with that? Of course, I'm fine with it. Let's go. You don't have to talk to Dad anymore. I nodded. All right, I guess that's it, I said to my husband. We'll figure out the details later. Hey, he started. Oh, God, what? I said, cutting him off. It's not my fault, he shouted. Okay, I said dismissively. We'll talk later. I hope you can live a life you won't regret. Huh? Whatever. I'll be free once you're gone, he muttered. I turned away from him, packed what we needed, and left with my daughter. At my parents' house, my daughter settled in quickly. Much to my relief, she adjusted well to her new school, and I started building our new life. Once she was comfortable, I met with my husband again to finalize the divorce. My husband refused to pay alimony, claiming it was my fault. He didn't seem to understand what liable even meant. I'm going to charge you alimony, I said firmly. Huh? Because you're liable, right? He retorted. No, you are, and clearly, you don't know what you're talking about, I replied. How am I liable? I didn't do anything, he argued. Exactly, you didn't do anything, no help with the house, no support with our daughter. I did all the work, but you did make time for Mary, didn't you? I said, putting evidence of his affair on the table. What? How did you get this? Did you steal my phone? That's so rude, he snapped. Excuse me? I'm rude? You're a married man, and this is what you've been doing. And no, I didn't steal anything, I said. You're unemployed. How'd you even hire a detective? It wasn't me, I said calmly. It was our daughter. What? She told me she saw you walking arm in arm with a woman she didn't know. She synced your phone to my laptop and showed me everything, encouraging me to divorce you. I stared at him coldly. She hates you. She's disgusted by you as a father. So now, I don't have to hesitate. I'm divorcing you, and I have all the proof I need. His face went pale as I continued. You're not just a lousy husband. You're a terrible father. How could you let your daughter see those pictures of you? Oh, and I also know about the affair that led to your job change. You've been paying alimony to the husband of your affair partner, haven't you? You even lied about your salary being reduced. I've looked into everything. At this point, his arrogance crumbled, and he nodded reluctantly. I'm proud of our daughter, I added. She's sharp and brave. I'd be thrilled if she takes over my company someday, if that's what she wants. Sorry, he mumbled weakly. Sorry won't fix this, I said. Let's not play games. I'm not stopping the divorce, and you're the one in trouble. If you don't pay alimony and child support in full, I'll go straight to your company and tell them everything. That shut him up. Hey, if you do that, I'll lose my job. Then maybe it's time you start job hunting again. You'll regret this for the rest of your life. My husband tried pleading with me, but I just smiled and brushed him off. He refused to sign the divorce papers at first, so I hired a lawyer and let him handle it. Within 2 weeks, the divorce was finalized. My ex-husband, already burdened with 2 other alimony cases and child support, couldn't afford more legal trouble. Facing financial ruin, he finally paid me alimony and child support in a lump sum. He had to go into debt to do it and even tried to gain my sympathy, but I ignored him. I also filed for alimony from his cheating partner. This led to a massive fight between them, and they broke up. Furious, she complained about having to pay but eventually borrowed money from her parents to settle it. I heard she moved back to the countryside to help with her family business, where her parents could keep an eye on her. As for my ex-husband, he couldn't afford his apartment anymore and had to move into a rundown one. Meanwhile, my business is thriving, and life feels brighter every day. My parents are thrilled because the IT system I implemented has drastically reduced their workload on the farm. It's rewarding to see my skills benefiting my family and our business. Through it all, my daughter has been my greatest ally. She's only 12, but her maturity amazes me. She was the one who encouraged me to leave her father and helped gather the evidence I needed. While it's sad she had to witness such a negative side of her father, she's used the experience to grow stronger. She loves spending time in the fields with her grandparents, but has also taken an interest in my work. Recently, she asked me to teach her how to make a website. I'm excited to see where her curiosity and talents will take her in the future. My daughter is truly exceptional, and I hope the adults around her will continue to nurture her. She inspires me every day, and I'm so proud of the person she's becoming.